Hi, in this lecture we are going to see about sorting, which will be helped to have a better understanding about one-dimensional arrays as well as loops. So that is the basic idea of this lecture. So what is sorting is? Sorting is arranging the data in a particular fashion. We can have arranging that in ascending order or descending order. So what is meant by ascending order is when you are going to have smallest value in the first place and the largest one in the last place with some constant relationship, then we are going to say that the elements are in ascending order. Numbers, basically we can consider numbers, and descending order means the largest value will be in the first, next value will be less than that and so on, and the last one will be the smallest. That's what is called as descending order. Okay, so let me show there are two types of sortings that we are going to discuss here. First one is called as bubble sort. I will say the meaning of the name after we see the technique. Okay, you know that already memory space you are going to have anyway arrays, one dimensional arrays, and when you allocate with some garbage value, there will be some garbage value stored here. It will be like this, continuous memory allocation. And after you get the values from the user, I am going to have the values of 75, 43, 9, 104, 33. After reading the values, this is how the array will look like. In bubble sort, what is the idea is each time, okay, in one time for sequence, what you will do is you will be comparing the element with its next element to the element which is to its right. So first I will compare the element at index 0 with 1, and then I will compare the element at index 1 with 2, and then at 2 with 3, and so on. That is how, okay, adjacent right, that is the element to the right is going to be compared with the element which is currently there. This is the basic idea of bubble sort. Okay, so bubble sort will be going on like this. Okay, and so I am showing the first thing. So 75 is compared with 43. Now I want to arrange in ascending order. It is violating the rule. Okay, the element to the right should be lesser than greater than the element in the left. That is, or I can say that element in the index 1 should be greater than the element in the index 0. It is not there. Okay, so I have to do a swap. So 43 should go here and 75 should go there. Okay, so how we can do a swap is you can have a temporary variable undo. When doing coding I will show that, but now you can currently you can just rewrite it. Okay, 43 will be in index 0 and 75 is here. Now what should you do is you should compare the element at index 1. You finish comparing element at the index 0 and 1. Now you compare with 1 and 2. When 1 and 2 are compared, again you find that there is a violation, 9 is less than 75. So swap should happen. So this is coming here. Now I should compare the element at 2, index 2 with the next one, that is at index 3. When you compare like this, 75 is less than 104. It is correct. Okay, so you will just leave it, and then I have to compare the element at index 3 with index 4. Okay, when I am comparing like this, you find that it is violating. 104 is greater than 33, which is lying to the left. So you will swap it, right? So this is one iteration. At the end of the first iteration, your elements look like this. Okay, this is the one iteration of bubble sort. Please understand that in bubble sort, you will compare the ith element with the element to its right. So at position I means it should be compared with the element at position I plus 1 and check whether the rule is abide. Okay, if you are doing in ascending order, the element at the location I should be less than the element at the location I plus 1. If it is there, then you will just leave it, otherwise you will swap it and go till the end. Okay, so you will go up to what? So the value of I should be, actually if there are totally 5 elements, I will go up to the 4th element only. I can compare it with the 5th element. For the I did not go to the index 5 because at that position I don't have anything to compare, isn't it? I need not go to the 5th element and check. I don't have anything to its right to find out. In programming aspect, it will be from 0 to 4. Okay, that 0 to 4 is the index of the elements, and I have to go up to 3 only. I have to go up to 0 to 3. This is one iteration, and how many times I have to repeat is, you have to repeat it n minus 1 times. So if there are totally 5 elements, I have to do it for 3 more iterations. That is, I have to do 4 iterations. Now again I will start from the index 0 only, comparing the 0th element with the first element. Violation, so swap it. Now compare the element at index 1 with 2, no violation, no swap. Now compare the element at index 2 with 3, violation, swap it. Okay, and you can stop it, because then I missed to say a point here. Why do we call this as bubble sorters? At the end of the first iteration, the largest element will bubble up and come to the end. Actually 104 is the largest one in the entire collection. It will come bubbled off and come and sit here. You can see that 104 is done. In the next iteration, the next largest element will come to this particular place. The next largest element is 75. So you can see that 75 has come here. Okay, so this is end of iteration 2. So each iteration the largest element will come and bubble up and come and sit here. So we can stop, we need not go up to the end. So the first iteration only we have to come up to the third index. The second iteration we can go up to second second index alone, because there is no need of comparison of these two. Okay, you can see that I just compared the element at index 2 with 3. I didn't do with 3 and 4, because we know that already at the last position the largest element has come. And after the second iteration, you know that these two elements are already in the position, proper position, so I need not compare them. So my process will be only up to this. Okay, so I will compare 9 and 43, they are in proper position, no violation, no swap. Now I will compare 1 and 2, violation is there, swap it and stop. I need not go and compare 2 and 3, because 3 up to 3 it is done. To the right of 3 it is done. Okay, and this is end of iteration 3, where you will have the elements like this, but I should not stop. This is by some chance it is sorted, but this is not the end. I have to go up to 4 iterations. Okay, so once again I will check the first and the second element. You find that they are in proper position, no swap. This is end of iteration 4. Okay, after 4 iterations you will see that the elements are properly sorted in order. This is the idea. Now we are going to implement this idea. So let us come back to the code. This is the skeleton used. Now let me declare the variables. Total number of elements are n, then I is going to be the iterating variable. I need one more variable j for iterating through the arrays, and I need the numbers. For that I require array. Let us assume that totally at the maximum I will have only 30 elements, so 30, and in addition to this, for swapping I require a temporary variable. Okay, so it is like two values are going to be swapped, means they are in both of my hands. Okay, I cannot assume that only one element can be held by hand. My left hand has one element, my right hand has another element. I want to bring whichever is in my right hand to the left hand and left to the right. This is swap. I cannot hold more than one element at a time, means what should I do? I will put down one of the thing. For example, I can say that whatever is in my left hand I will put down on the table. I will put whichever is in my right hand into my left hand, and then I can pick up whatever is on the table, right? This is how I will do. And this temp is like a table, okay, where you can put the value for temporary and you can take it in the other hand. Okay, so now let me read the number of elements in the collection. Okay, and then you are going to read the elements. They are also integers, so %d num of I. Okay, after reading the elements, your array will actually look like this. Now your array looks like this. If I execute the code and show you, now it will read the elements and you are storing like this. Then what should I do? You have to start comparing and swapping and so on, right? So I am going to have a for loop to indicate the number of iterations that you are going to go. Okay, so how many iterations I told you? For 5 elements 4 iterations. So for n elements you should go n minus 1 time, right? So see, since we start the value of I from 0, I can say I less than n minus 1, that is enough. Okay, since we start from 0, I can go up to n minus 1, that is enough. So this I is going to indicate how many iterations we are going to do, and in each iteration what do we do? In each iteration we do these many steps. Okay, this is what I do in the first iteration. What I do? I compare the first element. I start always with the first element. I compare it with the next element. So I am going to have another one looping for j equal to 0. I am going to always start with 0. And how far I am going to go? J less than n minus 1, but I am not going to go till the last one. See, what I am going to do is I am going to compare the element at index j with j plus 1. Okay, I am going to compare the element at index j with j plus 1. Since I have to compare with j plus 1, I should not go till the last one. I should go last but 1. Then only I will have something to compare in the right. I hope I make you to understand the point. So it is j less than n minus 1. But in the first iteration only you have to go up to the last but 1 element. In the second iteration you will go up to last but 1 before that. Okay, like this it's going to go on change. So you are going to say minus I. Okay, because as I told you, the concept of bubbling up will happen. After the first iteration, the maximum value will go and sit in the last place, and next one, the next maximum will go and sit. So I need not disturb, I need not go and see what is there. So j less than n minus 1 minus I. Okay, j plus plus. This is how the loops are going to be, and what you are going to do each time is you are going to compare the element at the index j with the element at index j plus 1. You are going to compare the element at index j with index j plus 1. Okay. Actually, if it is greater, element at j is greater than j plus 1 means now I want to do in ascending order, it should be swapped. This is not the correct way. Element at the index j should be less than the element at the index j plus 1. So it should be swapped. How I am going to do? I am going to say temp. This is like you are keeping on the table. Temp is table. You are going to keep on the table whatever is on your left hand. Let me say my left hand is num of j. I am keeping it here. Okay, and then I am going to say my left hand is now free. Okay, num of j. Num of j is equal to num of j plus 1. Whichever was in my right hand has come to my left hand. Now num of j plus 1, I am picking up whatever is on the table into my right hand. Okay, so this is what you are going to do if they are not in order. If they are in order, you are not going to disturb them, you are just going to leave it. After this sort, what you are going to do? Again you are going to traverse the array and you are going to print it. Printf let me leave more space. Okay. Now let us go to the terminal and check the code. Let me say totally 5 numbers: 75, 43, 9, 104, 33. Okay. Now we can see that after the process is over, you get 9, 33, 43, 75, 104. It is sorted, right? This is the first type of sorting, that is called as bubble sorting. Next, we are going to see one more type of sorting. This will make you to understand things in a better way, how data is getting stored inside the loop and so on. For that only I have chosen this example. Now, yeah. So now this technique is a variation of selection sort. If you know already what is selection sort, the concept is you will be at the location 0 first of all, and you will find out the suitable element in that position. Okay, that is when you want to do it in the ascending order, you want the minimum element to be in the first place. So you will be selecting the proper element for that particular position, and then only you will move to the next position. Bubble sort is you go on, keep on moving. Okay, here in each location you will stay in the location till you find the suitable element for that position, and then you will move to the next. That is the concept. In selection sort we will find the position and swap. It is a small variation here, we keep on swapping. So I have mentioned it as variation of selection sort. So just look at, first you will be at the index 0. Okay, you are going to in the first iteration you are going to find out the element appropriate for this particular index 0. Okay, so what you are going to do is you will compare the element at index 0 with index 1. 75 and 43, they are not in order, swap it, 43 will come here, and then you will still say in the index 0 only, compare it with 2, not in order, swap it. Now again I am in index 0 only, compare it with 3, not in order, sorry, it is in order, no swap, and then compare the element with the last one, no, it is in order, no swap. Okay, this is end of iteration 1. So what do? Is we stay in the index, okay, and then you confirm or you find the element which should come to this position. You select the element which is going to come to this position. So it is named as a selection sort, right? And then what I will do? I have finished. So move to the next index. Now I am at index 1. Now we are comparing the elements to its right. First with 43, not in order, swap. Again I will be at index 1 only, compare with the next element 104, no swap, it is in order. Again index 1, compare it with 3, it is in order, not in order, so swap. So you will see 33 is coming. Now end of iteration 2. Now we have found the element which should come to position 1, index 1. Next I move to the next index 2, right? Now compare with the next element 104, not in order, sorry, it is in order, no swap. Next, not in order, swap. Okay, so at the end of iteration 3 you will see that 43 has come to this position. So you will see that after each iteration the indexes gets the correct element for that. Now I will move to the next index. Okay, I just compare it with right one, it is not in order, you swap it. Okay, I will stop. This is end of iteration 4. So here also you can understand that it is an iterative process, you have to do it n minus 1 time. If n is the number of elements, then you have to do it n minus 1 times, and in each iteration what do? You just start the elements compared to its right. Okay, I denotes the position currently which is being focused, that gets the correct element. So let us start coding. So yeah, so you have to read the do the proper declarations n, num, I, j and temp. Okay, as usual you need it. First of all read the number of elements in the collection, okay, and then you have to read the elements. And put it inside the array. Sorry, I made a mistake. Num is array, so I should give index num of I. Okay, read the elements for the array. Then after this what you should do is, now we are going to start the process of sorting. I have to do it how many iterations? I represents the number of iterations. I have to do it n minus 1 times. Since I start from 0, I am just giving for I equal to 0, I less than n minus 1. Next, j. What you are going to do now? See, when you are going to do the selection sort, always you are going to concentrate on one particular element, right? In the first position, what do you do? First time what you do? In the first iteration, always you are going to compare the element in the position 0. Okay, so actually what you are doing is you are going to concentrate on the element in the position I. So for j equal to I, okay, for j equal to I, what you are going to do is or I can say j equal to I plus 1, because I am going to use this variable for comparison. I am going to focus on I am going to compare with elements that is pointed by j. Okay, j should start from I plus 1, j less than. How far should I go? I should go till the last one, j less than I plus 1, n minus 1, and then j plus plus, right. You are going to pass through all the elements. Okay, I think, yeah, it is better to be n. Okay, till the last element I have to compare, so it's better to be n. And now we are checking if num of I, if num of I is greater than num of j. If num of I is greater than num of j, it is a violation. I want it in ascending order, so the element in I should be less than the element in j. So you do a swap. So as I explained in the previous problem, you are going to use a temporary variable and then store the element in I there, like you are keeping it on a table, and then you keep whichever is on the left hand, right hand, as I was describing you. Okay, now you are going to say, okay, so you are going to compare the element in the index I and j. If I is greater, you are going to just swap it, right. When swapping, keep the element in ith location in temp. Temp is equal to num of I equal to j, num of j equal to temp, right. So this for loop is completed. Now you are going to print the elements one by one. I less than n, going to print it. So can compile it and execute it and check. We will give the same collection. There are going to be 5 elements: 70, 5, 43, 9, 104, 33. Okay, so I can see that it is coming in sorted order. Okay, this is what is selection sort. So when we are writing the loop, we need to have a understanding what we are doing, the process of the entire sorting process. Understanding of the entire sorting process is very much important. How many iterations? See, we should have this understanding. This loop is for representing the number of iterations, how many times I should repeat, and this loop is for each iteration what should I do. That kind of understanding is very, very important. Thank you.